Welcome to Forum 360. I'm Ardith Keck, your host today. Marketing, selling yourself or your product, is a talent so important in the world today. We have a place where you can learn direct marketing at the University of Akron. It's the Taylor Institute for Direct Marketing. With me to learn more about direct marketing is Jacob Farrar, who is the director of the Institute, and Gerard, the president of Speedion Data and the chair of the Executive Advisory Board. And welcome to you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jacob, how long has there been a Taylor Institute for Direct Marketing at the University of Akron?
So the Taylor Institute's been on campus since about 2005. Our current configuration since about 2006. So we're about half the space that we're in now that first year, and then we, based on the success, the Taylor family expanded it to the entire half of the fifth floor of the Polsky building on campus. So about 2005, 2006.
And I've been to visit, and the Institute is quite amazing.
Well, thank you very much.
The facility is amazing, and your labs and all the other classrooms. And
Thank you. There was some great vision on behalf of the Taylors and the early leaders at the university that helped set this institute up, where they anticipated kind of where marketing is going, and really the labs have been the same since that point, yet they're completely applicable to 10, 12 years later. So
does it deal only with graduate students or
no,
undergrad?
Actually primary undergrad students. So grad students there's classes that take place, but most of the activities and the programs that we do are more geared towards undergraduate students. And partially that's because just the dynamic at the University of Akron, most grad students work during the day, and so they're just there for class. Whereas at the undergraduate level, they're there throughout the entire day, and so most of our programs are really geared towards undergraduate students.
And it is part of the College of Business Administration.
Correct, yep.
So students who enroll in the College of Business Administration might also take classes at the Taylor.
Correct. So kind of how it works, if you look at a hierarchy, so you have the University of Akron, and then there's the College of Business Administration, and within the College of Business there are 6 centers and institutes. And ours is one of those 6. But really we cater to students from all over campus. So there are classrooms as well as the labs that you referred to. But those labs, and they're available to students regardless of what your major is. We do, obviously cater to marketing students, but really if you want to take advantage of, for example, our student-run social media agency, you can be a political science major, you can be a communications major, you can be an education major, nursing major, it doesn't matter. You can still take advantage of those things. So while we're part of the college and really part of the Department of Marketing, we really have involvement with whatever your major is on campus. We try to be as inclusive as possible.
Okay. Obviously, it's called the Taylor Institute of Direct Marketing.
Correct.
So we need to talk about what you mean by direct marketing.
Okay. So direct marketing it's a term that's, I think it was coined by, I don't know exactly where that term came from myself, but basically it's any communication that's done on a one-to-one level. I think it was Lester Wunderman that came up with that term. Lester Wunderman was an early advertising marketing guy, and basically it's communication where the company is sending out some sort of communication directly to that individual. So as opposed to like a broadcast, we're all familiar with the Super Bowl commercials, right? Everyone knows about the Super Bowl commercials. That goes out to millions of people, but nothing is direct to a specific individual. So any type of direct marketing is going directly to that individual based on who that person is, where they live, their lifestyle, past purchases if they're an existing customer. So direct marketing is any type of marketing communication in which it's one-to-one in nature, and typically it's data-driven, so understanding who those people are, and then it's directly to them on a one-to-one basis.
Okay. It elevates a career. It's a profession.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we often don't think of it that way.
Well, we think of it as stuff in our mailbox. That's where we mainly think of direct marketing. But really, with technology, and I think Gerard, you can definitely speak to this. I mean, really, technology is every type of communication is one-to-one. If you think about, even this program, it's going to residents of Hudson, right? So it knows your zip code. It knows where you're going. The DirecTV or Time Warner that the show is being broadcast on, it knows where you live, and it can be directed directly to that individual based on different variables. In this case, it's zip code. So
Interesting. We have to get you in here, Gerard. You're a businessman, and you're also chair of the board, the advisory board. So what kind of responsibility do you have for that?
Well, I just became the chairman in the past 6 months, and so my goals this year really, my goal will be to add some more people to the board at the University of Akron Taylor Institute. That's be very helpful so that we can get really more people aware of what we're doing. People with a national reach, people with a regional reach, where we can help get our students better access to jobs.
Do you use students in your business?
We do.
You do.
So we've had a lot of success.
As interns, or?
So we had 2 interns from University of Akron. We hired one in the past 2 years. So and he is he's amazing.
He had the training.
Yeah.
He had the proper training. Okay. So are there responsibilities as a board person? What do you have to do?
So, we have a monthly call, and the agenda really right now is, we just nominated our Direct Marketer of the Year. So, we ask our board members to nominate somebody that we believe drives our mission, and that is, the mission of the Institute, so that we can get more folks, I think, that are at the student level into the working world, right? And to get more people aware of what we actually do at the University of Akron.
So you're a partner with the Institute, and you're looking for more partners. You call them partners, essentially.
You bet.
Okay. And is there a financial obligation?
There is.
But for a businessman, that's not terrible.
For a businessman, that's not terrible.
Okay.
Right? For a smart business, it's not terrible, because I actually think that we, Speedy on Data as a company, the financial return on the folks that we've brought in has been profound. So, we've really received a tremendous amount of value from the folks that have come to work for Speedy on out of the University of Akron, and to commit to to be a board member, a nominal fee. It's really great to have access to these unique individuals that are coming to us. This is not a major that is prolific in the United States quite yet, right? This is a very unique program that teaches people direct marketing.
Jacob, you look like you'd like to jump in.
Well, I was just going to say that, and we're very thankful for Gerard and his involvement in Speedy on Data. If you think about why students are coming to school, going to college, it's really to get a job, right? That's why they're there. I know there's, they want to learn and they want to, be around, other like-minded people, but really at the end of the day, it's to get a job. And so we feel like the Institute is there to help them in that process. And so we do that through either networking opportunities or experiential learning, but the key variable in both of those areas is corporate involvement. Like, we can't do or accomplish our mission, as Gerard said, without additional corporate involvement. So students need to meet other marketing professionals. They need to have other opportunities for experiential learning, through internship opportunities or involvement with some of our projects that we have at the Institute. So really it's, and I think this is where business schools are going, or should be going, is more corporate engagement. And we at the Institute, we feel like that's completely in line with our mission, is to get more corporations involved, companies like Speedy on Data who see the value in our students at the Department of Marketing, students that have a skill set that would be completely in line with what they're looking to do, specifically as it moves forward with digital marketing, those types of things. So really corporate involvement, and we've seen some great, Speedy on is just an example. We partner with a number of companies, not only that sit on our board, but also sponsor corporate projects for students at the university. And so that's, and I often say it's the lifeblood. The Institute cannot be as successful as it is without more corporate involvement.
And you get, when I talk about more folks around the table, right? That's more corporate involvement around the table, right? In the past couple of years, we've had the pleasure of bringing in, one of the members of the Amazon management team as our direct marketer of the year. We've had the pleasure of bringing in, the chief marketing officer from Dish Network as our direct marketer of the year. And those are senior leaders in this community, right?
Absolutely.
On a national basis. And our students, they can pick up the phone and call these folks,
Yeah.
right?
There's a chance to meet them personally and to talk with the chief marketing officer of Dish Network. I mean, that doesn't happen every day in the life of a college student.
No, it certainly
And,
doesn't.
and even at the local level, I mean, we work with an organization called Magnet, which supports manufacturing growth in the area. We work with them on a project basis as well. Matter of fact, they did sponsored a project within this past semester. So there's the national level, and then there's even here local to Northeast Ohio that are getting involved with what we're doing and involved with our students. That a student, again, has a chance to, as Gerard said, pick up a phone or talk to them at an event. And it's just a great opportunity for students.
Should these partners all be, you're involved with marketing, but should all the partners be involved with marketing, or doesn't it make any difference?
I mean, I guess every company or most organizations do marketing, so there's that there's that division within their organizations. But we have technology companies, we have manufacturing companies that we partner with, we have a call center company, which again that's a form of marketing. But I mean, I think there's a natural synergy with that. But at the same time, I mean, if you're a manufacturer that makes steel parts, you still have a marketing and sales department within your organization. So there's always going to be a benefit to having a student, and we're seeing a lot these days with these manufacturing companies in Northeast Ohio that feel like they need to get more involved with digital marketing. So things like search engine marketing, social media, email marketing, that content marketing that they may not be as familiar with, but the generation that's coming out of college right now is very familiar with, and they can hit the ground running. And so that's what we're seeing is manufacturing companies knowing that they need to be doing these types of things, being able to just call me up and say, hey, I need a student that can help us with this. And it's the opportunities we're seeing a lot of those these days.
And these days with social media,
Correct.
we're talking about a lot of learning that needs to take place with the computer and with other aspects that I can't even imagine how much they have to learn.
We actually, when we had Gerard would reference the chief marketing officer of Dish. When he came a couple years ago, he spoke about this evolution of direct marketing. So when the Institute started in 2005, social media didn't exist. Email marketing was out there. Mobile marketing to an extent, I mean, there were cell phones, but not to the extent that we have now. And so really, there has been this natural evolution of direct marketing that, again, the ability to go one-to-one, even through social media, there is a learning curve, but students coming out, I mean, they may be better equipped than anyone to kind of keep up with where technology is. So
We're going to talk more about that when we come back, but I just wanted to welcome all our listeners today. I'm Ardith Keck for Forum 360, and with me to talk about the Taylor Institute for Direct Marketing is Jacob Farrar, who is the director of the Institute, and Gerard, who is the president of Speedy on Data and the chair of the executive advisory board for the Institute. And that question about how things have changed, direct marketing has to be much more complicated than it was 15 years ago, 5 years ago.
yeah, I think Gerard, I think you can definitely within your organization at Speedion, you've seen how technology has helped, probably made things a little bit more congested, so to speak, at the same time. So yeah, technology is helping, but there's a lot of different players that are out there, a lot of different tools, solutions.
Yeah, the ecosystem's very complex these days, especially in the digital marketing world. But I will say this: direct mail's not dead, right? Telemarketing's so-so. In regards to growth, I think it's probably much harder. But it was interesting just looking at the election, how much that drove direct mail. And over the years, I think an interesting concept has evolved where people, I think, thought that kind of the direct mail is dead. So they stopped investing in direct mail and they started investing more in digital. What's happened is your mailbox has gotten skinnier, it's gotten thinner, right? So what that has opened up is an opportunity as well for, where people it's less competitive in the mail. And we're working with the largest brands in the United States. And they're all doing direct mail these days, but they're also all doing digital these days. So I think we've just added on to the ecosystem. We haven't necessarily taken the put direct mail in the same basket with a 8-track tape.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that caller ID has changed direct marketing?
No doubt about it. I think the laws around telemarketing have changed. Changed that as well.
Yeah.
I think I think that there's no doubt opportunities. Right, the correct opportunity for sales and marketing as it relates to telemarketing still do exist in a very big way. Where if you have your own customers that you can call, that you have permission to call, you can very much cross-sell, upsell, retain those folks.
It's always going to be a viable channel. I mean, the phone,
right.
it's going to be a viable channel because there's some customers that prefer to, from an inbound or an outbound perspective, they always want to talk to someone live.
Yeah.
And so that's always going to be a part of the process. But to Gerard's point, it's just there's other channels that are going to be, kind of going into the major, integrated marketing. It's where, each channel is coordinated together. So your print will drive an inbound call, and that'll be followed up with some sort of email campaign. And then maybe they'll see an ad on TV that refers back to, a specific URL, some sort of website or a hashtag.
Yep.
Again, now we're seeing all of these channels working together as opposed to, email doing its own thing, TV doing its own thing. Oh yeah, and by the way, you're going to get a phone call. It's becoming more integrated.
It's all
more
multi-channel.
strategic. Yeah, multi-channel, omni-channel. I mean, that's the term
Right.
that.
Now that's
employees.
integrated marketing communication.
Correct,
which
yeah.
Is it actually a category for students?
Yeah, it's a major. So within the Department of Marketing at the University of Akron, there are three majors. There's sales management, marketing management, and integrated marketing communications. And integrated marketing communications really focuses on, if you're to break down the individual components, it really focuses on, the messaging and the channel, how that message is being delivered. So your coursework, the projects you work on really focuses on what is that message that you're saying, and then how is that message being delivered. So there's a media strategy class, there's a creative class. So all of these things help students better understand, again, based on who your target market is, right? So that's the nugget of insight about your target market, what message should be crafted for that market, and then where is that market going to be seeing your message, and that's the media side.
So students actually focus on this as a topic,
You're correct.
integrated marketing
Correct.
communications,
Yeah.
and they graduate, and then what?
So there's a lot of different opportunities. So a student with that major, we've seen them go for what we call, let's break it down into the client side or agency side. That's kind of typically the two buckets. And so from an agency perspective, they could work for a company like Speedy on Data, which supports marketing, or at least part of the marketing ecosystem. They can work for an ad agency. We have a number of ad agencies that have taken students. We have a number of marketing agencies, like a digital marketing agency. We have a number in the area that have hired students. And then you can also just work for the client side. So you're working for someone like a manufacturing company, helping with their social media or their email campaigns, or developing, working to do a website redesign, those types of things. So really a major like integrated marketing communications. And one thing I should also mention, that is the only major that offers digital marketing as a class. So if marketing is going digital, you want to line yourself up, so to speak, with a major that has a class specifically in digital marketing. So that is a class that's offered. And
Is
so,
that a class you could take even if you're not lined up with?
I think there are
integrated
probably
marketing?
some prerequisites, but we have double majors. So within the department, students are taking those classes.
Because
So.
that would be very necessary.
Well, that's
I would
that's
think.
our selling point to students that are trying to decide on what their major is. Is I mean, it's an easy conversation when I ask them, do you get email? Do you use social media? Yes. Okay, that's digital marketing. So you have a lot of students that are trying to decide. They've maybe been accepted in the College of Business, maybe finance or accounting is not their thing, or engineering student in a different college. It's one of those things where they'll come to me and ask me, what should I do? What should I major in? And I ask them, digital marketing. That's you're familiar with it, and well, this is the major that offers that class and opportunities in that. So.
And develop a global perspective is one of the guiding principles. Can you explain what you mean by that?
So knowing that an email can be sent from a company in Cleveland to a customer in Shanghai can be done very easily, right?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I mean, in the same amount of time probably as it could be to Seattle. I mean, really, it's still a blink of an eye. So really, you have to, in marketing, you have to have a global perspective, because you have companies, call center. We talked about call centers. You have call centers that are routing people through call centers offshore, and their access may be completely perfect to someone that's here in the United States. Business is being done globally. Marketing needs to catch up with that. And because of, again, going back to this idea of digital marketing, it can be done regardless of where you happen to live. So you have to have a global perspective. And what we're trying to do is expand that by having more international companies, companies that are operating in different markets. So this year, and Gerard referenced our Direct Marketer of the Year. Direct Marketer of the Year is awarded at our Interaction, which is our thought leadership event. And this year's theme, matter of fact, for 2017 is Direct Marketing for a Global Audience. So we're looking at having companies come in and talk about what they're doing in that space. Companies here in Northeast Ohio or and anywhere in the U.S. that operate in a global market. How are you doing direct marketing in these other markets? So.
Is Speedion a global company?
National in scope
national.
only.
Yep. Because I know you're all over the place in the
Right.
U.S., but it's but we have focus groups too, and you actually do marketing for some businesses or organizations.
So,
I found that really interesting.
Yeah. So the institute, in a way to again give back to the community as well as generate revenue for the institute to do programs, we often work with local marketing companies that are looking for help. So we offer resources that, going back to the example of a manufacturing company, a small to medium-sized manufacturing company probably has a sales office and a marketing, salespeople and marketing people. They don't have market research people, and so we offer that service as a part of the institute. So we have faculty that are involved. She works for the institute and can offer those types of opportunities. We do not only do we do qualitative research, so focus group is considered a qualitative research, but we also have someone that can go in and help with the quantitative side, so the analytics as well. And so really that's a resource that we provide to the community. In addition to just partners from an advisory board perspective, we're also looking for partners that way as well. Is companies that are looking to take advantage of the resources that we have at the institute to help their business grow.
So there is a company, and I think you mentioned it, or a group called Kanga Communication.
Yeah.
Would you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Kanga is a student-run social media agency, for lack of a better term. So again, going back to this idea of experiential learning, I mentioned earlier that students need to have some sort of experiential learning component as part of that college process, so to speak. So Kanga was developed a number of years ago, about 3 years ago, and it's a way for students to give back to the community by managing social media for local nonprofits. So, for example, we work with a women's shelter in Akron that has a Facebook page, has a Twitter account, but they really didn't have anyone to run it. And so we worked with a local agency in town that was kind of managing it for them, but now we've completely taken it over. So students are managing all of the Facebook posts, all the Twitter posts for this local women's shelter. We also do it with TEDx Akron and then TEDxU Akron. So these TED Talks that are local here to Akron, we also manage the social media for that. And that's something, again, going back to your question about students across campus, or just for marketing students. We have students from all over. We have PR students, there's some political science students, we have some graphic design majors that are part of it. It's open to anyone that wants to be, it operates more like a student organization than a class. And so in addition to the students being involved, we also have social media professionals. So people that do this for a living, they come and they actually act as coaches and mentors for these client teams. So to help the students, create objectives, deliver the strategy that the clients need, and then create content that the clients are looking for. So it's something that they can do. Matter of fact, we had our last meeting 2 weeks ago for the semester, and we're hoping, fingers crossed, that we have a new client. We've been in some discussions with a new client actually it's an on-campus entity to give students the opportunity to manage, again, more social media for local organizations. So.
It sounds like a wonderful learning experience.
Oh, yeah.
I learned about the Taylor Institute for Direct Marketing at the University of Akron when I visited their headquarters and was astounded at all you do. So thank you for the opportunity to showcase this institute. And I thank you, Jacob and Gerard, for being here today with me. I'm Ardith Keck for Forum 360.
Forum 360 is brought to you with support from Electric Impulse Communications, Kim and Harvey Nelson, Rubber City Radio Group, Akronist.com, Hudson Cable, Medical Mutual of Ohio, Forum 360 supporters, and the Shaw Jewish Community Center of Akron.